Red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hey guys, and welcome to Dark Arts Podcast. We're talking to you guys today about dating mistakes that men make. Listen, I want you to understand today's video is about the silent test that women put you through. I mean, I hated to say it because I really thought this wasn't true, but when it happened to me, I realized that women really do be testing you. And I don't want you to fail like I did because I failed miserably. Listen, before we go anywhere, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button. I want to just have a conversation really with you. Look, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're talking to a young lady, you're getting to know her, you're having conversation, it seems to be going well. And then all of a sudden, something happens. Maybe it was the silence. Maybe it was a direct confrontation, or maybe it was a simple question, a raised eyebrow. Maybe it was her looking at you some type of way. In my particular instance, let me tell you a little story. What happened to me? I was a couple of months ago out and about, being my usual self, as one would say, and I met this beautiful young lady, and she was talking actually, and we were having a good conversation. And I said to her, "Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to waste my time. I'm an intellectual foe. I like to have intellectual conversations." She looked at me and she said, "Well, why would you just say that? It just sounds so rude. Why would you say it that way?" And for a second, I paused and I asked myself this question: wait, was I being rude? I thought I was just saying what I'm about and I don't want my time to be wasted. And then I started over explaining the situation, trying to go, well, actually, it's because like people that da 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 da. And all of a sudden, from there is where this series is born. I've got a series of 6 videos to do with these guys, right? In terms of the different tests that were happening in the course of this relationship. But this was the very first one, and I failed miserably. When she tested me to ask me a question as to why I was saying that, I should have told her, listen, this is me, this is my value, and this is what I do. And that should have been it. I tried to over explain myself because I was feeling like, oh, I don't want her to feel some type of way. That's on her if she feels some type of way. I wasn't being rude. I wasn't being disrespectful. I simply stated what I actually wanted and how I didn't want my time to be wasted. And yet now I was made to be the bad guy. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the test. Men, if you're listening to me carefully, do not fall prey to me as I did to that particular test. So let's talk about it, all right? I want you to understand that in the dating arena, there are a lot of women, and I want to specifically put this: women that test, I don't believe it's all women. I believe you have to talk about attachment styles. This is something that probably you know about. This is by British psychologist John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth. He came up with attachment styles. It is a way that we attach emotionally in relationships. Not to bore you, but let's get into something like this. And what it was, there were 4 main attachments. There is secure, which is, I believe that if you find someone who's secure, they're not trying to test you. The people that are testing you have an insecure attachment, the anxious people and the avoidance. Okay. If you meet any of these two, they are going to test you. Why? Because they're insecure. And there are many men and women out there who are insecure and will test you because that is how they find safety. And because so many people are insecure in their attachments, this is common knowledge as to how dating coaches seem to teach people. But that's not actually where you want to be. I don't need to be in a place where someone's trying to test me. But better yet, I still need to teach you, because even if you are going to meet someone, you may meet somebody who's going to test you and you need to know how to pass that test. So back to my story. We were talking, conversing. And then I said the famous words: I like intellectual conversations. I don't want to waste my time with people that don't actually meet that level. And she then rebuttal saying, wait, what? Why are you saying it? I simply said it because I wanted to say it. That's what I wanted. I wish I said it that way. I did not. I began to do one of 2 things, which you should not do. Here's the 2 things that you should not do in response to that. When someone questions you, when someone raises an eyebrow, when they look at you some type of way, you've got to hold frame. I did not hold frame. That was the biggest mistake I made. When she questioned me, some people don't question, they look at you. Some people, like, make a little sound. So, some women will do a whole manner of things. If they're not accepting and not with you on that situation, just know that they are testing you. Anything but, oh, okay, I get it, it's probably going to be a test for you. Right. So the 2 things that are going to help you fail this test, which most people are going to do, and I don't want you to do it. Okay. It's number 1, backpedal. Okay, I said to her, listen, hey, I'm an intellectual person. I like intellectual conversations. The backpedal, when she said her question to me, would have been, oh, I mean, I like all kinds of conversation. You start backpedaling. Oh, like, I'm not trying to be rude. That was me also too, backpedaling. Oh, no, no, like, what I really mean is that's backpedaling. No, you meant what you said. Hold it down, hold frame. Don't go backwards. We're going forwards. Now, bar you actually being an absolute dick, an absolute douche, an absolute idiot, this is nothing to you for you to go backwards over. We are going forwards. The backpedaling is actually conceding ground. And what she's realizing is you won't call her out on her bullcrap. That's number one. Number two is that you over explain. This is where I usually find myself in. I over explain. And that is an example of this will be, well, I just think intelligence is really important because, well, she didn't ask me that question. If she had asked me that question, so why is intelligence important to you? Then that would have been her acknowledging the fact that I enjoy intellectual conversations and wanted to know more as a interesting party. No, she tried to correct me as to why I said it. That's actually where the test was. She was correcting me. And what I should have done was tell her, listen, it is my value. But I'll get into that in a second or two, right? When you have to start trying to explain yourself when they're questioning you, not when they're intrigued. Know the difference when they're questioning you, when they're not intrigued. Somebody who's intrigued, you should explain to. They want to know more. They want to understand you. That's the one you want to be in that space with. But the one that's questioning you, she's not questioning you to get more information. She's questioning you to challenge you. She wants to see, can this man hold frame? Now, both of these stances are weak stances. Why? Because it shows uncertainty. It shows that you're not confident. It shows that you're unattractive. It shows that actually as well that she's got a higher sexual market value place. That's why I explained myself. I don't need to explain myself if I have a higher sexual market value. Sorry, I wouldn't need to. But because I felt a little bit of insecurity in that moment, I have to be honest with you and be real. I'm never gonna lie. She was so pretty. I was a bit thrown off, and I was like, just for a second, I was thrown off. The mentals, mate. Okay, and so in that battle, she immediately won. Okay, and this was actually a line of bad decisions that I did and I made in that situation, and I'm re-engineering it so you can actually do better. Okay, all right. See, the best way to respond in this situation, okay, and the key to passing the test is to stand firm in your values. Okay, you do not want to waver or shake. Is the sky blue? Yes. See how confident that is? Is your name Kojo? Yes. It's confident because you know it to be true. The moment that you start to waver, the moment you start backpedaling, the moment you start over explaining when she's not curious but she's questioning you, is the moment that you fall prey and you are showing a person you're not confident in your actual answer. And if you can't be confident, how can she be confident in you? So here's how a confident man responds. When she asks, why would you say that? You say, because that's what I value. It's not for you. And if it's not for you, then it's okay. Let me say it one more time. If she asks, so why do you say that? Which is what she actually said to me, is because that is what I value. And if it's not for you, that's okay. Right? So no justification, no need to seek approval, just a statement of fact. Keep it simple, keep it sharp, concise, and keep it easy. You know what I'm saying to you? All right. These responses do two things. It shows you that you don't need her validation, and it also makes you more attractive because your confidence is magnetic. Now, I actually did let her know that, listen, it's because I did let her know this is what I value. But as you can tell, I also added a major explanation. I was over explaining. And the funny thing is, I do this on YouTube a lot. And probably in this video, I'm probably over explaining a little bit too much. I always want to be understood. That's where it comes from. Many of you carry the same wound. If you know that you grew up in a household where you were not understood, this is probably where you're going to fall down to. Do not fall prey to the over explaining. You just need to say it as a matter of fact. She says, why do you say that? Because it's something that I value. That's it. Simple as. Okay. Now, I want you to understand this is something that I'm teaching a lot of my clients in coaching as well. And I want you to grow. And I want you to become these men that are masculine and have a good solid frame. We're making sure that we're going to be passing through the dating field and making sure we get the right type of woman. Here's why you need to be of the masculine frame. What tends to happen is if you're in your feminine frame or you carry too much feminine energy, you're going to meet a more masculine woman. And that usually has the inverted roles. And inverted roles for both men and women usually carries a lot of toxicity and issues that both parties are not really happy with. And yet, if somebody becomes more healed, then suddenly the relationship doesn't benefit them. And now you are single. Okay? I don't want you to be there. I want you to be at the top of the peak of the mountain. I want you to be at your best. I want you to be your most confident and your most sexiest self. Pause. But listen, that's for you and me to work with. And if there's something that you're actually going through, then look, reach out to me. My coaching link is in the description box. Click on it. Let's get working together. But if not, well, let's wait till next week and get our next video out there as well for you, where we continue this particular series. Because let me tell you this now, you ain't gonna get played again and you ain't gonna fail that test. So remember the two things: don't backpedal and do not over explain. I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded, and we'll see you again in another video on Dark Arts.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland.